Hello, I'm Jim and D, and welcome back to Power Up Gamers. We're pleased to be bringing episodes 3 and 4 to you of Harbinger, Secret of the Fortune. As Mike, please fix your mic. We begin off this session with our brave adventurers in a bit of a panic. They had just fought against a barometric in the skyport or, or on day ground, being told by the patron Cypher to deliver a package to the crew of a vessel. After dealing with the barometric, they discovered the crew had all been slaughtered before they arrived. They have decided to take the cruise ship and deliver the package to the drift market, its original destination. So, Borneo, since you're our pilot, why don't you give us a space travel check, which is a D6?
Okay. 4.
Don't traders get to roll twice and take whichever result they want?
I believe so, actually. So go ahead, give us another roll of a D6.
And another 4.
Okay, so it doesn't matter. So before we do the interplanetary event, and I'm gonna give the players some time to introduce the characters and describe what they're doing and thinking as on the ship bound for the drift market. And let's begin with Jace.
Sorry, I missed that. What we're doing?
Yeah, basically what you're doing and thinking as you're aboard the ship traveling towards the drift market.
No, Leary couldn't have sold us out. No, she was definitely into me.
Awesome, Jace. Your mind's definitely preoccupied with this beautiful blonde lady that you've been flirting with quite a bit recently and saw shortly before you were attacked. She had told you she's leaving Dagron in the morning and was hoping to have an evening pastime with you. Although it appears you won't make that rendezvous.
Yeah, I'm a little pissed at that.
Hazard, what are you doing?
Hazard is preoccupied with the thought of going back to the drift market. Somewhere he's not the happiest to go back to so soon, due to how things were left off before, but he's definitely willing to. As he does this, he pulls out of his bag or whatever a mask, a breather that almost has an insectoid look to it, complete with a little antenna that looked like they were just kind of attached to it and bug-looking eyes, and puts that on so once they arrive, people don't see his face.
awesome. Your mind definitely replays through your time at the drift market, and you remember uh, uh, Captain Rocket of the swirling cosmos. He's probably the one you would want to talk to. He doesn't particularly like Seth Larkin, but he deals with them because he has to. But you know he's done some work as a fence before, and you kind of have this nagging suspicion that the package would have gone through his hands at some point. So
What did you say his name was?
Rocket, Captain Rocket
All right.
of the swirling cosmos, which you know is basically the slum, almost district, even though it's a bird or this rundown Corvette at hall that is part of what makes the drift markets. But you also know Captain Rocket had charge of that entire sector. Even the set lets him run it. So, Doc Lazzoli, what are you doing?
Doc Lazuli has what looks like a 2-page book, but it's actually a hollow book, so that he can hold it and read any book that is tied to it. And he's just reading various things, mostly of medical nature, just to make sure he keeps up on stuff, but also a lot of stuff about where bounties that are going on locally, and he's checking message boards for potential work to do in the area they're going to.
Okay.
But he looks up at this guy wearing just the dumbest looking bug breather, and just gives him this like, what the fuck is wrong with you look. But obviously he can't actually see it because he's wearing his own goggles and breather. But he looks like an idiot. Like, why would you? There's just lots of disgust. You know, well, get one that glows blue, you idiot. And yeah, he just goes back to reading. He's actually just reading his hollow book the entire time.
As he kind of says to get one that glows blue, Hazard would reach back to some sort of control thing on the back of it, flip it on, and the eyes start to glow red.
Okay, well now you just look silly.
Nice. Borneo, oh, you're piloting this vessel. Oh, you can definitely tell it's a bit slow and sluggish to respond. It definitely seems to be run down, but it's holding together. And not but a couple minutes it's after you've left Degrad's gravity pool, you notice a small blimp seems to be coming towards your ship.
Okay.
At the same time, Gideon flies up to Ive and looks directly at Ace. We have some messages. Cypher says to speak to Rocket at the drift market and bring back the payment. The other is unknown sender. They are ordering you to halt the ship and prepare to be boarded. The
So
that
Jace,
accent sounds vaguely Alazim, which you would know is basically the ruling sept.
so Jace was like lost in his own thoughts until Gideon came online. And what? Oh shit. Um, Borno, evasive maneuvers. If you want me to take over, I don't know. Does this ship have any weapons?
There is two turbines, although one appears to be malfunctioning, but the other one still appears to be operational.
I'm gonna go to the one that's broken and see if I can fix it.
Okay. Okay. So you head to that one. Hazard, you're hearing all this, being pretty much right there with everyone. What would you like to attempt to do?
God, no, Doc, you want to take the other one? If they really are from the sept, we don't have much choice about the boarding.
Well, they can't board us if they're all dead.
Well, how good in the shot are you?
I'm not dead, and I usually shoot first.
Alright, sounds good enough to me.
Hey, Doc, Calazoli, I believe you were carrying the package.
I was carrying the package.
What
Mostly
are
because I'm gonna keep it, like, set it in my lap while I'm shooting at things.
Okay. Okay. And how about all of you give me some kind of history or intelligence check? Pretty much anything you think will work with it, knowing the Alazim, knowing boarding procedures, what they might be looking for.
History or what?
Some kind of intelligence check. Pretty much anything
Okay.
that will work. I think history is the most accurate.
The tech check? The tech check work or no?
No, not for this part. Unless you're trying to access maybe the ship computers.
Maybe in a moment. I have to see if I can get what the status of this gun is, and then I'll worry about hacking them.
Okay. A. So, Jace, Ace, and Borneo, you know it's pretty common for space travelers to be smuggling in different artifacts, relics off the harbinger, and that Alazim always tries to intercept these things. You don't know what's in this package, but you have a feeling that it would be something they would be interested in, and that they probably shouldn't have. Hazard, you pretty much don't know what to do in this situation. You're used to dealing with things like this, but not aboard a ship. You're used to dealing with fences, and so your only thought is hide the package. And Alex,
With
your
that-
suit is focused on the big guns, Doc.
Yeah, I'm all about getting this gun up to snuff.
as I kind of think about hiding the package and knowing that that kind of stuff, would I be able to find some sort of a smuggler's hole or something? So if I do, I can ask for him to hand me the package and hide it
Sure.
in case the worst comes.
Give me an investigation check.
So, are we running, fighting, or we're going to let them come aboard and hide that?
At the moment, you're still piloting. This is all taking place very fast.
Yeah, I'm asking everyone. What are we doing? Running, fighting, or letting them board?
We're in a stolen ship from a criminal planet, smuggling. I'm not letting them board unless we absolutely have to. I'm not going back to jail again, man.
I would probably want to try and hold them off long enough we can try and get away, but if not, don't let them on.
Yeah. It definitely appears that you're preparing to be boarded in case that happens, but it sounds like you guys are planning on either fighting them off or trying to make a run for it.
Do we have any idea what the size of this other vessel is? Like, is it in our scanning ranges or anything like that?
Borneo noticed there was a small blip, so you know you're in basically a scout ship, so it's almost positively to be larger than you. Although you haven't pinpointed the vessel itself yet, totally.
Also, I don't know if you can see in the chat, but I got nat 20 on that.
You actually do find in one of the little bunk areas, there appears to be a false panel that it might be big enough for the package, but barely.
Alright, then I'd run over to the guns, specifically where Doc is, and hand me the package. I'm going to try and hide that thing in case the worst comes.
Doc Lazuli will get up and, like, show me where it is.
Okay. And I assume that you're going to leave your gun and powering up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it takes a minute for it to hit full charge.
Yeah, I just can't respond, like, understandable. So I'd make sure he sees where it is, and I'm assuming we put it in there.
Yeah. You might even, like, reach for it, and he just moves past you to put it in. So far, he hasn't let anyone else touch the package.
So Jace, give me a tech roll. Actually, give me two. One for the gun that you're trying to restore, and one for accessing the computers. Okay. Hey, you're having some difficulty with this gun. You're not sure if there was an explosion in or a fire, but it appears some of the circuits have been burned out, that they might need replaced. Aced.
Okay. The gun is useless. I can't fix it right now. I need more time and parts. So I'm going to try to hack their systems.
However, you are able to access the ship computer pretty easily. And the first thing you will notice is a message from Cypher to the crew of this vessel. And it says, Lily has informed me that the package is en route. It should arrive shortly. Okay. The second thing is you managed to pull up a glance vid, and and it shows a cruiser of Alazim departing in a moon not far from the Grand, on our coast towards the Grand. And you believe this might be the ship that's ordering you to haul. All of you would know a cruiser is definitely way more than a match for this scout ship. You might be able to outrun it if you leave immediately. Cruisers take longer to get up to their full speed, and so that's a possibility. However, you also notice nearby there appears to be some kind of swirling nebula.
Is it safe enough for the ship to go into it?
You
Would it provide cover?
Yeah, from what you can tell, it looks like it might be safe. It probably will interfere with the scanners, as you haven't really had time to scan the nebula itself. But it might make a good hiding spot if you can get there and disappear.
Now, will a co-pilot, is that possible? Is there a co-pilot station that can help out the pilot?
There is. It's usually held for the navigator, or who is the one who kind of plots the courses.
Okay, well, I'll take that seat because our pilot is our navigator, so I'll be the pilot.
Okay.
And I'll say, guys, maybe we should buckle up. I think we might want to try to lose him in the nebula. Barno, do you think you can steer us in there?
I can certainly take a shot at it and see what this bucket of bolts can do.
Okay. Hey, give me a straight D20 roll, or you can add your piloting skill.
Would he have advantage with me helping him?
I don't think it's needed. It's not a culture get into.
With the astrogation skill, 15.
Okay, you definitely are able to make it in there. It is a bit of a bumpy ride. You do notice some of the computer readouts are starting to flicker. Gideon, and he's talking, and has a very slight static to his voice, or it's almost as if this nebula is interfering. And Doc Lazuli and Hazard, when you enter this nebula, both of you have a slight migraine, and almost instantly you know it's the presence of a large pool or of Astra.
I pull Astra and I use bolster. I just start bolstering somebody repetitively to try and draw out some of the Astra.
Okay. You definitely are able to do so. However, it doesn't seem to be making any difference in the amount of Astra that's gathered.
Well, if that doesn't work, then it's time for drugs. I take some drugs.
Grab a fistful of pills, pop them right on in.
And
Hazard probably still over by this, smuggler's compartment, and feeling it would just not even try to negate it, just kind of sit down, maybe even on top of the bunk that's hiding our package, and just kind of wait it out.
hey, and both of you give me an Astra check.
Okay, my headphones died. What did I miss?
An Astra check
What the hell is an Astra check?
for both you and
Arcana.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
the replacement of Arcana.
Knowledge Astra. Yeah, okay. Well, I got a 18 plus 5 is 23.
Okay, both of you can tell almost immediately that the nebula itself seems to be filled with some kind of Astra, but you're having a hard time pinpointing the energy of it. It seems to be flickering in between in red, blue, yellow, green, and you think that it's even a plaque. But it's strange because it's nothing like you've ever sensed before.
Well, if I don't know anything about it, I'm not gonna worry about it too much.
Curious what the sensation is. Hazard would reach out his hand and try and focus on that strange black Astra and try and see what happens. Essentially investigating what is the nature of this.
It's rather red, and you try to call out to it, and it's almost as if it's choosing not to respond. But you get this overwhelming feeling of emptiness. Almost as if there's nothing there. Borneo. Oh. You're managing to hold the ship up together. From what little of your scanners you can see, it appears that the cruiser saw you going into the nebula, but they're not pursuing you. Almost as if they're holding a position outside of the nebula and perhaps trying to scan it.
Well, good for them.
Good. So, are you wanting to just hide in the nebula, or are you gonna try to continue your course to the drift market?
Let's see. I think we'll continue our course to the Dread Market and
Okay.
just get the nebula in between us and them, and then relatively punch it.
Okay.
Can I see if I can get the scanners working while in the
Yeah.
nebula at all?
Yeah. Go ahead, give me a tech check, and Borneo, go ahead, give me another piloting check.
Okay, 18.
Okay. Hey. You managed to place the nebula where you'll come out the far end of it, keeping it between you and the cruiser. And you're able to punch, as you so delicately put it. However, on your course, and you manage to see this is on the scanners right about the same time Jace does. And Mike, fix your mic, please.
So I'm forgetting to use that.
Is you really don't have time to avoid the asteroid belt that both of you see just split seconds before. However, you seem to be able to pirate your way through it, hopefully. Hey.
Okay.
And being a pirate, you think this is a good thing because even if the cruiser does make it past the nebula, they then have to deal with this. It's try to find a small ship in an asteroid belt is extremely difficult. So you are pretty sure you'll be able to lose them within this belt. Jace, Ace, you're noticing this asteroid belt too. Right as Borneo's pirating into it. You're working on the scanners, trying to keep them operational. You look at just this red flashing light catches your eyes, and all of you can feel the ship shake as one of the asteroids hits it. However, at the moment, it seems like the ship's fine. So, Borneo, why don't you give me one more piloting roll to make your way through this asteroid belt?
Of course. 2. Sorry, 3.
Don't forget, I keep bolstering you, so go ahead and add a d6 to that.
That's right, yeah. You receive bolster from him trying to diffuse energy.
So that's a 7.
Okay, you definitely are having trouble, or you can feel asteroids are repeatedly hitting the ship. But you finally do manage to make it out of the asteroid belt and approach the drift market. Jace, Gideon looks to you. I'm detecting a loss in atmospheric pressure. I believe there might be a hull breach.
I put my breather on, and I get to work trying to find it and see if I can fix it.
Okay. Hey.
And I tell Borno, maybe put your breather on. I know the other two have them on already. Might want to put yours on.
All right, I put my breather on.
Okay. Hey. You are able to find the breach pretty easily. It appears to be towards the mess hall. However, you know there's no way you could fix this without the ship being docked for quite some time.
How big is the hole?
It is approximately big enough that you think both you and Borneo could be sucked out of it pretty easily if you were standing side by side.
Okay, guys, we have to land as quick as possible. This breach is too big for me to fix now and too dangerous.
Yes. And give me some kind of deck saving throw. Oh, if you have mag boots, might be a good time to use them.
I didn't know we could buy mag boots.
I think they might be standard.
Yeah, I think they're part of the standard kit.
Okay, then I will engage those. Do you still want me to do a dex check?
Yeah, give it advantage since you're using the mag boots.
Natural 20 plus 5.
Okay, you're able to resist pretty easily. You do feel the slight vacuum of the space coming from this breach, but you're far enough back and you have the mag boots that you're able to move pretty easily out of the way. And you turn and you see the little key panel that will close the mess hall doors. And you're able to close them. They're a bit slow to respond, and they have that kind of jerk to but finally they slam shut. And you approach the drift market, Borneo. Oh, and you're guiding the ship in Hazard. Are you going to assist him with where to go?
Yeah, as I imagine, like he begins to enter, go to the closest, most visible, dock, and then it's kind of come up. It's like, not that one. They're probably gonna try and steal us. And like he sees him go to another. It's like, no, that one's a scam. Head for that one. I think I might be able to get us in there pretty quietly.
Okay.
It's kind of almost like side seat driving.
Yeah.
So I imagine after a couple of ones, it gets a little annoying before he proposes the one that might actually work.
Hey,
Okay.
Borneo, are you gonna follow Hazard's suggestion?
Yeah, I will follow his suggestion unless like something's actually going wrong that,
Well, not much. Just a large hole in the ship.
Yeah. I mean, the mess hall's closed.
Yeah, just your
Big
average.
hole in the hull. I've been, this is the first time I've ever flown this ship. Little things like that. So,
You are able to land the ship and it's not really landing it. It's more of pulling up to this hull of a ship and docking with it.
right.
So you're able to do that just fine. And Gideon and flares up. Says there's a message. Captain Baka wishes to know who is attempting to dock with his ship.
What ship is it? Does he specify? Or can we tell?
You know the ship is the Swirling Cosmos. It's the sector he controls.
Okay. I would probably respond something along the lines of, Captain, and there's no need to worry. We're just simple traders coming to unload some goods, and just kind of starts like saying things that might just kind of just kind of put them off and just kind of shut them up. Just leave us alone as much as I can.
Yeah.
Or at least
You hear
myself,
him.
yeah.
You hear him chuckle. All goes. Simple traders, hazard, you liar, you old dog. Like, what brings you? Sept Larkins look for you, and they offer quite a hefty reward.
Yeah, and you know exactly from experience why that reward isn't anywhere near worth what it is.
He
We go
chuckles.
back.
He chuckles, goes, "Aye, lad. But you said you had some goods. Well, come aboard. Oh,
Where are we meeting?
there ain't no sept up here. Come to my private residence, but watch your back. You know, not all's as trustworthy as me.
Oh, I know.
Most would sell their grandmothers for a glint. I would at least fetch a good price."
You got it.
Would my character know anything about this Captain Rotgut, was it?
You actually, all of you probably heard of him in his younger days. He was quite a famous space traveler. He was one who originally wasn't like the first aboard the Harbinger, but was one of the main people ferrying supplies and goods to teams there. It's also said he discovered an unknown moon, and that no one else knows the location of the moon.
Yeah, I'd probably kind of as he gets off, to kind of look to everyone's like, I don't trust him. Keep your eyes out. Make sure this ship's empty of anything you want to keep. I've worked with him in the past, but
So we
Sep's
take the,
definitely gonna be keeping their eye out.
so obviously we're taking the package with us. Is there? Actually, I'm going to do a quick check of the ship before we leave. Is there anything aboard that could be of use?
You could probably scavenge it for some parts. The big
Yes.
The big thing besides the gun that's operational that you would notice is a small data interface panel. And it appears to be in really good shape. It is actually where the Spectre interface goes, although Gideon isn't able to interface with it.
I'm not leaving Gideon
You could,
aboard.
yeah, you could take the panel.
So
For,
you cut off a bit. What I heard, I missed the actual item.
it's a data interface panel.
Okay.
It's with the Spectre's interface with the ship.
So you said I could take that?
Yeah,
Okay.
you would be able to pull that off. And it's about the size of a computer keyboard. or although you know as a mechanist, Gideon can't interface with it, but some other Spectre could.
So are
Yeah,
you
well,
taking large components of the ship off of the ship? Like, how are you carrying this?
Well, that he says it wasn't that big. I was looking for anything loose, but that looks interesting
Yeah, I'd
you know,
probably
in my backpack.
I'd probably see if there was anything loose too. Even smaller, mundane items that we could probably just kind of throw up for sale really quick while we were here. Make a couple quick glint.
It's basically if we don't come back to the ship, I want to scavenge.
Or if we
do a
can't
quick
come back to the
scavenge.
ship.
Yes, I want to do a quick scavenge.
You know, there's not a lot in the ship. However, there does appear to be a ready room. Probably the captain of the ship's private quarters. And in it you actually find a very fine suit of power armor that you know will fetch probably 2,000 quid easily.
Power armor. Does that happen to be heavy though? Heavy armor.
It is heavy armor.
Borno, did you want to borrow this? You look like you could might be able to
What?
fit into it. So I found some power armor in the captain's quarters.
Ah. Okay.
It is extremely well crafted and pretty durable, or for all intents and purposes it would count as same as full plate, but it's definitely mechanized, appears to be in functioning condition, and so for now you can basically use it as armor. When you get to Rocket, you may decide to sell it for the glint.
Right.
Are there any oxygen tanks on this thing?
On the power armor
No,
itself,
on the ship.
on the ship, there's not. You noticing this and knowing either your medical background, you think they were going to restock at Daytron, but things happened before they could.
I want to make a search of the entire ship before we get off because we found one hidden panel. Who's to say there's not going to be more?
Yes. So how about everyone pick an area of the ship that you're looking at and give me an investigation roll.
I bolstered myself so I could do better, and I got a total of a 27.
Okay. Right. So, Doc, where are you looking?
What are possible places to look?
You notice the mess hall, which has a whole breach, so it's dangerous to look in there.
Well, I mean, we're landed, so it's not dangerous anymore, right?
It still is, but not as bad.
Okay, well, I'm not going to look in the mess hall.
And there is the bunker area, there is the gun areas.
Is there a cargo bay?
There is a small docking bay. Not, you think it may double as a cargo bay?
Right, I'm going to look there.
Okay. You look through that. It is pretty empty. However, you do find a false panel there, and there is a small box with you're able to open the box pretty easily, doesn't appear to be locked, and you see some small chips. They appear to be some kind of computer chips.
Well, I'll look at them later. For now, I'm going to take the whole box, put in my
Okay.
bag.
Okay. So 18 for Michael, 18 for Paul, and Borneo, did you have an investigation roll?
Yeah. Did 18. I'm gonna
Okay.
check like around the pilot station in the cabin. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, under the pilot seat, you actually find a carbine. It appears to be double barreled, having a weapon mod already added to it, fully loaded, and in rather good condition.
You score power armor and a modified carbine. That's pretty good.
Uh-huh.
Good.
Plus a crate of some kind of chips.
Well, I mean, Boreal specifically is getting power armor and a double-barreled carbine.
Well, that's if he keeps them.
Well, I'm pretty sure he's going to keep the carbine.
Yeah, definitely. That's kind of where I pictured you. Hazard, where are you checking?
I would probably check the mess hall, making sure to close the door behind me in case anything happens, and that way if I find anything super nice, everyone else doesn't see it.
Hey, you're able to go in and you see the hole in the wall. There's some debris. Almost immediately, the first thing that catches your eye is the silverware and dining ware are made from obsidian. You know, that's probably a good 300 glint if you gather it all up. But you would need some kind of large sack type thing.
Okay. Would I be able to find any sort of sack or something like that in here? Or even just
Yeah,
some sort of storage, something I can put them in.
yeah. You continue looking around, and you see in one corner what appears to be a small tub that you could fashion into a sack pretty easily, kind of like a hobo bundle. And as you're packing away the dining ware, are you looking at it further, or?
Well, I am now.
Okay. On one set, you notice is a small insect engraved into it. It looks eerily familiar. It looks like a praying mantis about the size of a tarantula. Hazard, on seeing this symbol, how do you react?
I take special note of it, given the fact that it's clearly looks like it might be some sort of inspiration between this creature and my breather, and just kind of those ones especially, I might separate them so I don't actually think of them as the same.
You know exactly what this insect is. It is called a thraken, and it's a very old legend, and at least everyone believes it to be legend.
Yeah. Then once I have everything packed up, I'd exit.
Okay. And Jace, you received an 18 as well. Where are you looking?
Me, I'm looking at engineering. Like if there's an engineering area.
About the closest to engineering type area that you would see is this a small section where the engines actually built into the ship, but the gun turrets are the areas that would be able to hold anything. Okay, so you're examining all this area, and you find on this strange metal scarab. It's a very dull bronze. What are you going to do with it? Are you picking it up, or
Like it's not a live thing. It's a.
no? It definitely is some kind of machine.
I'm gonna.
You can tell it's made of this dull bronze metal, and it doesn't seem to be moving.
I'll take it with me and put it in one of my pockets, I guess.
Okay.
Separate from everything else.
Give me a Constitution saving check.
Of course, Constitution. It's not my worst, but 6.
Okay. Hey, you managed to let out a aim, and you will basically black out. But you have a choice of where this scarab will burrow into your skin. And you're muted.
I have no idea.
Well, I mean, it's in a pocket, so leg, right? There you go. You don't need your legs.
My leg pockets.
Yeah. You could pick anywhere: forehead, neck, spine,
Those all sound like terrible places.
leg.
You know what? I'm thinking the furthest away. Maybe leg is not a good spot, but I picked leg, so.
Okay, so on your left leg, I would say almost. What the heck? We'll make it right on the kneecap. Up. Is now this scarab-looking thing that's covered with flesh. As your flesh is kind of up and surrounded it. And it's starting to heal up. The rest of you heard Jay scream.
Yeah, I'm on it. I'm running over there.
Dagger is out, and I'm close behind.
Doc, you managed to catch really quick what was going on right as the scarab burrowed into his knee. And it you can see some blood, and it looks like his body's starting to heal itself around where that scarab is. But there's no other signs of danger.
I'm gonna make a quick. I don't have. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make a quick knowledge medicine. I'm gonna make a medicine check to see if what I think this thingamajig is.
Okay.
I got a total of 19.
You have no idea what the device itself is. However, the wounds appear to be almost surgical in nature. Very precise cuts that don't seem to be bleeding real deep, and it looks like it's going to heal naturally. But if it heals up, you would have to cut him back open to try to remove this.
Well, looking at it, how hard does it look like to remove it?
It looks like if you were to attempt it, you could very well mess up his knee. Even as skilled as you are.
Well, that is true. I don't know what this is, and that could mess him up even worse.
True. And about this time, Tracy, you come to with Hazard and Doc Lazuli standing over you.
If I notice him awake, I'm gonna immediately say, something burrowed into your knee. Do you want me to try and remove it?
As he says this, I flip my dagger around and hand it to him, not saying anything.
I'm gonna push your dagger away and pull out my energy scalpel.
That's less fun.
I have a healer's kit. I assume there's an energy scalpel in it.
I try to stand up and see, does it hurt at all?
If you try and stand up, I'm gonna hold you down. You don't need to be getting up.
I just want to see how it.
Yeah. You tried to put some weight on it, and you seem pretty steady. There's a slight tremble at the knee. And give me a tech check, Jace.
And be bolstered too, because I'm right there, so why not?
But what does bolster do?
You're gonna add 3 to your check.
19.
Awesome.
Sorry. Yeah, 18.
Okay. Immediately, almost, you're not sure if you actually heard it, and no one else does, but it says interface complete.
Is there any chance I could know what that is?
After a slight response, you hear, I am a data interface jack at operations system. Being a mechanist, you know this is very old technology. It allowed people to directly interact their nervous system and senses with computer systems.
Jason, am I cutting this out or not?
No, I think it's just some old tech. It's an interface. It's should be fine. Leave it in for now.
All right. I'm gonna look at the wound and see, is it healing unnaturally quickly?
It does seem to be faster than normal, or not quite as fast as if someone was actually healing him.
All right, I'm gonna pop out one of Dr. Lazzuli's patented Lazuli pills and hand it to you. It'll make you feel better. They're something.
Okay.
Let me know if you have any exciting side effects. I will tell you after you take it.
All right, fine. I will take it. I look at you a little strange, but fine. I'll take it.
Almost immediately, the sense of pain's numbing. And Dr. Lazuli, what else does this pill do?
Well, it's not supposed to do anything else, but you know, it's my patented formula, which is 2/3 random shit I can find.
So, Chase, Ace, give me. Let's go with a medicine and then a nature check.
$18, and on the medicine, and I don't think there's nature anymore. Is there?
There's medicine though.
No, nature is still a check you can make.
Yeah,
It's like normal. They didn't do away with it.
yeah.
Not on
Nature.
my list, so it's, 15.
So you get a very strange cinnamon aftertaste. And describe what you experience as a hallucination in forms.
I'm tempted to say crystal cats, but no. I start seeing swirls of Astra. Like, I think I can see Astra now, just floating around, coming out of people's eyes, nose, mouth, everything.
Awesome. So,
As he kind of says this, Hazard would kind of just focus for a second, trying to expel extra Astra energies if he were next to it.
he does, but it's kind of weird. Like, you'll put it in one spot and he'll like swipe at it like right next to it. So like his senses are a little bit off.
That is amazing. Batch 23F might sense Astra.
And it doesn't last for very long, maybe 15 minutes. And his senses become normal again. But he's definitely feeling no pain at all. So what would the party like to do now? They pretty much checked the ship, and Captain Rocket's waiting at his residence.
Hazard, did you find any food in the mess hall?
No food,
Oh,
just some expensive silverware. He would say as he holds up his hobo bag of obsidian silverware and stuff. Noticeably, though, not the ones that have the Thraken carved into it. Those ones he has separated.
Yeah, I imagine you would have stashed those in your backpack. Like on your gear kit.
Yeah.
So, Hazard, I believe you'll lead the way.
Yep. I definitely would. As we go, I'd probably even take a slightly longer route, being very cautious of anybody who's watching.
Yeah.
Stop randomly once or twice to say stuff to a few people that doesn't make much sense to the rest of the party. Just, they can't tell, but I'm being very careful and trying to make sure that House
Larkin.
Larkin, yeah, that's what it was, isn't watching.
You are able to do so quite easily. At one spot, you have to almost stop and hide in the shadows, seeing what looks to be some guards from House Larkin, and enjoying a evening off. Couple, you would know them to be hookers on their arms. But they don't seem to notice you or be rather engaged. And you make it to Rocket's small hovel. It's not really anything special. Oh, this whole district is pretty ghetto. Oh. But you see a light on through almost an opaque viewing panel. And who would knock or try to go inside Rocket's residence?
I'd probably knock. I imagine in a special pattern to kind of signal that it is me, and then just walk in.
You just and you see Rocket sitting in a large lounging chair. Goes, there you are, Hazard. I was wondering what was keeping you. Oh. And you have some
regular business.
friends. I see. Right. Well, before we do business, I would know who I'm dealing with. Obviously, I know you, old dog. And he turns to look at the rest of you. And who might you lot be?
Agents of Cypher. That's all you need to know.
He kind of chuckles, goes, good enough. Well,
on bit of his whatever is hanging on his clothing, there is I forgot to remind the group. There is a symbol, a little crest. The storytellers group called the Brotherhood of the Bard. Musicians and bards, storytellers. So he has that visible. He doesn't say anything, but it is visible.
Okay.
I don't know if he knows anything about it in detail, but
you see Rocket see it, and he just kind of raises an eyebrow. Kind of like, that's interesting. It goes very well. Do you have my package?
Do you have the money?
He laughs, says, money? Who says the payment was money?
As he kind of asked for the money, and this is said, I turned to Doc and said, not every currency is money. here especially.
No matter what the currency is, it's still money somehow.
Rocket kind of chuckles. Goes, yes, yes. As, as it's sitting over in that corner, and many points, you notice a large crate. Probably take at least 2 of you to carry it. And from inside you hit some strange purring sounds.
I look at Jace and then I nod over at the crate.
And each of you, and we will go into first, Jace, you hear a voice inside your head says, I see you like the ladies. I believe we will get along just fine.
That's the same voice I've been hearing.
No.
It's a different voice?
It's a very soft, almost feminine sound. Hazard, you hear one sounds young but more male. L says, someone's got a secret.
As I hear this, I begin, looking around almost frantically for a second. Then I notice the crate, and I look at Rotgut. It would be kind of through the corner of my eye if it wasn't for the mask. And I say, what's in the box?
As you hear Rocket says, you'll see, it's quite special. And then that voice says, no worries, your secret's safe with me.
Yeah, this does not calm him down any.
Borneo, you hear almost an older masculine voice. Says, I see you've been around for a time, but not as much as I. The pleasure should be mine once we truly meet. Then the last as one speaks to Doc Lazuli. A almost grandmotherly voice says, dearie, a strange one you'll be. But perhaps you'll keep me some company.
And who is thinking in my head?
Says, well, tis I. You should learn our names once you open the crate and look inside.
Doc will look at Jace again and nod at the crate more like, go on.
Fine, whatever. I'll go open the crate.
So, Ace, you see inside these small cats that look to be made of crystal. There's 8 of them. Please describe one and name it, and it will be the one that spoke to you.
One of them, it's sleek and black, almost like an obsidian look to it. And its name is Shalinda.
Okay. Write that on your sheet. That's now your crystal cat companion. And Hazard, you're up.
Um, mine, I bet, would be more of a almost plump looking one. As with a very rigid, angular look. Each block being made up of different, almost like slabs, if that makes much sense, kind of ridges. And I don't have a name yet, but as soon as I have one, I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
So
And write it down on your sheet.
yeah.
8. Borneo. John?
Yeah.
Okay. Wasn't sure if you fell asleep there or what.
I may have just nodded off for a minute. So what have we got going on with Brockgut?
You're basically
You're right, man.
describing the crystal cats. That's and giving them a name.
Giving them a name. So we've got a box full of crystal cats.
Yep. And you're able to describe what yours looks like however you want. We have one that's black, almost obsidian and sleek, one that's very angular and plump.
Yeah. I'm going to go with something in ambery orange.
Okay. Hey.
And a little bit on the slight and sleek side.
Okay. And do you have a name for it?
Henry.
Okay. So write it down on your sheet. 8. And last but not least, Doc.
So the last one, that is not the least one in there, is a pale blue-green. It's got piercing yellow eyes. It's doesn't even completely look like a crystal cat. Like it's smooth enough that it doesn't look crystalline. Around its neck, though, it is colored more of a golden color. And its name is Isabel.
Nice. So you managed to each pick up your own cat.
I don't pick mine up. Mine just jumps on my shoulder.
Okay. The other 4 cats, you notice one is very regal looking and definitely feminine, but seems to be larger than the rest. It's a very gold, golden, and beige color kind of mix. Almost the color of Paul's background if it was specked with like gold. And it definitely seems to be kind of the leader of the pack. And you hear this regal where it says, Cypher will take care of the rest of us when you return and give us to him.